All right, Courtney. Happy Friday night.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. So I'll have to wait and see when people arrive here, if people arrive.
Right.
Let's see.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good Friday.
Mid-conversation, we'll have to go through our questions. I think they'll be fun. Hey,
Okay.
Daniela, how are you? Hey,
Daniela.
Secrets.
Hey, Tori.
Hey, Anne-Marie made it. Hello. She told me she was coming.
Oh, Anne-Marie.
Oh, I missed Quenby's happy hour tonight. I usually try to pop in. Hi, everyone.
Tori's husband's in the house.
No.
Yeah, Tori and Tori's husband.
Oh, I thought you said Lori's husband.
Oh.
Really? He never comes to my live. That would freak me out.
You're like, please get off, husband. Scoot.
This is not your domain.
Right.
How's everybody doing tonight? I was just telling Courtney that we reopened our tiki bar, and we had Bob Marley playing, and we had Harry Belafonte. It was like really fun, and then the kids DJ'd for a while. But I had to stop so I could be good for my live.
Okay, no, back up. You had to stop drinking so you could be good for the live.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Because we started the tiki bar at 6:37. And so, yeah. So how was your week, Courtney?
Oh man, it was good. It was good. I think the weather's nicer, which is good.
Helpful.
Yeah. I started to see some results from some of the work that I did a number of weeks ago with some of the business loans, which I know you and I talked about offline. So that was good to see. Sales have been kind of just all over the place, but they're still happening. And so I'm thankful for that. And
did you do some listing on Mercari? Is that a new adventure for you?
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. So I think I told you I was going to try List Perfectly and do the bulk.
Right.
Because Vicky, which I don't know if you watch Vicky, Katie and Vicky over on their channel, but Vicky did a video where she kind of showed how to do, I think she sells on eBay and Etsy, and she wanted to get a whole bunch of stuff on Poshmark. And I think it was a matter of a week, she got 700 items cross-listed to Poshmark.
Wow. Through bulk. Yeah. Through bulk.
Right.
So how many, do you know how many she can transfer over at one time?
I watched the video, but I was distracted like I normally am when I watch YouTube. So I need to go back and watch it because she actually had the founders on there kind of talking to her a little bit. And then she did a screen share. But,
I'm not familiar with Vicky.
Yeah. So I met Vicky at eBay Open. I met Katie and Vicky at eBay Open. She was part of the box swap. She's just great. I mean, they're both great.
Check her out.
She's an eBay, So, so I saw that demo, and, I've tried both Vendoo and List Perfectly. And the reason I tried both of them in free trials, and it didn't save too much time for me. And I also I'm always wanting to kind of try new things. But when I saw her bulk edit thing, I thought, well, if I ever start a new platform, that would be worth the money, for me, because if I could get 1,300 listings transferred over to a new site within,
can you imagine,
a month, that would be amazing. Yeah.
That would be amazing. Yeah. And I don't believe that's a feature that Vendoo has. Yeah. I don't think they've encountered that. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm hoping to maybe try that this week. It's on my to-do list.
That's exciting. Yeah, you'll have to let me know how you like it. I know Daniela likes List Perfectly. I'm a Vendoo girl. Yep, Daniela loves List Perfectly. Yeah, so, oh my goodness, hey Lara, my worlds are colliding. So Lara used to live in town with me here, and she moved to Vermont. Oh, we love and miss you too, Lara. How's Vermont? How's Mr. Sanders doing?
That's sweet.
So sweet. Vendoo girl here.
Tori.
Yeah. Oh, Tori, I received my masks today. I actually posted a picture with Rocco, who looks like a carrot. Like he wanted the dollar bill mask because he thinks he's so gangster in our little suburban town here. And he puts on like the money mask and his hair's like crazy. It's on my Instagram.
I saw it. It was adorable.
He's out of control. He's out of control.
Adorable.
But yeah, they're
So
so nice.
So wait, is Tori making them right now?
Tori is making masks, and she is donating a portion for resellers, helping resellers. I was actually just starting to read about it because I haven't actually gone through it, but some of the proceeds are going to go to, and Tori, correct me if I'm wrong, they're going to go to resellers in need right now, and people are nominated. And her request is that once you receive a portion of the profits, that you take half of them and pay it forward. So it's just kind of starting this movement. And yeah, she's amazing.
And she's a part-time reseller. Tori's part-time. And so she's adding on this on top of, she just is mind-blowing on how much she does with her
and
time.
The embroidery. So. Have you seen like all the embroidery she's been doing on denim and purses? She's super creative, super creative.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh, here we go. Tried Vendoo, and for the life of me, it wouldn't list. Oh, there you go. Michelle. So Michelle's a List Perfectly girl. I know Vendoo had a couple things they needed to tweak recently, and it's working because I had a few glitches last week, and it's back. It's back in business for me, which is really good. So how's everybody doing in the chat tonight? Everybody have a good week.
Thanks, Kevin.
Where's Kevin? We love Courtney too. All right, Courtney. So I was going to wait for a while to do some questions, but all right, we're going to go through this. I'm going to go through business stuff first, and then we can go through some fun things. Have you done? All right. So one of my questions is, you have been doing some online sourcing, correct?
Oh, well, thanks, New England Betty Boop. That's very sweet. Yeah, so not really. I mean, I just don't have the patience for it. I've never liked online arbitrage at all. I don't like retail arbitrage in general.
But you did like a ThredUp box.
I did some ThredUp boxes just because I was at the time knowing I was kind of bumping up my YouTube content. And I wanted easy content, and those are pretty easy. But yeah, no, I ordered a few of those. The men's boxes tend to do pretty well for me. There was a women's box where it was like 25 items or something for $60, and that was a complete bust. I did an experiment where because I had sent in stuff to ThredUp a while ago, where a couple of my items were put in a category called unbranded, and I was upset at ThredUp because I was like, no, they're not unbranded. They have brands, and they accepted them, and it was kind of this ordeal. So I decided, well, what if I went into unbranded and did a test? And I think you probably are similar to me. If you do make a little money off of a YouTube video, if you take a risk like that,
it can justify the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did that. That was kind of a bust. I did get a Prada jacket. So it wasn't like, there are some gems there. I didn't spend much time. I had the patience of about 30 minutes and what I could find in that period of time. But I haven't ordered anything else. So everything up is up. I am, one of my aunts reached out to me, and she sometimes watches my vlog channel, and she's up in Portland, Oregon. My dad's side is up there. And she was like, I just cleaned out my closet. Can I send you some stuff? And I was like, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. And I offered to pay for shipping, and she wouldn't have anything of it. And so I'm going to get a few boxes from her, and that's
really exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. I have not done the ThredUp thing. I was really curious about the $300 box. That's been like all the buzz right now. Yeah. And one other reseller was pretty vocal about her not being happy with it. Like 9 out of the 15 items were damaged. Yeah. And it wasn't listed.
You don't have to call her out, but
well, no, I mean, she posted it on her story. So it was Savannah.
Oh,
so yeah. So she was super excited, and then she was super disappointed. So I don't know if she made some progress with that, if they're going to replace the pieces, because it wasn't marketed as a DIY.
Right.
It was marketed. It didn't say anything about flaws. So I think that came as a shock. So I don't know.
Man. Well, I saw one. I've only seen one video, and it was a gentleman by the name of Thrifty T. And I reposted him on Instagram
Yeah.
because I hadn't seen anything of them, and I didn't attempt it, but I also I don't really keep in contact with too much of the rescue stuff. So yeah, that one would be intriguing. It's a risk though. It's
At that
all
price, I think it's quite a risk, right?
Yeah, especially right now when you're not getting a lot of inventory. So that would be interesting to see what Savannah got. I know Thrifty T's box, I would assume he would be able to double or triple his money, which would be a decent amount.
That's good.
But yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I saw that post of yours. I need to check him out. I think he gave us, he shouted out a bunch of podcasts. So I connected with him through Instagram on that, but I haven't seen any of his videos yet.
I was just searching to see if anyone posted them, and I just stumbled across his. So I'm not familiar with him, but yeah, he seems like a really easygoing guy, and so definitely check out that video. So is it Kari or Carrie? Carrie She said she had a $300 box, and it was pretty good. What I'm seeing in the comments.
Some definitely were bad. Savannah's was bad. I didn't watch her video yet, but I also think it's an expectation. All they did was change the title and charge more. Well, that's what's interesting, is because they, like I said, they didn't market it as a DIY. So I can see why people would be upset if things were flawed. Wanted to return a Tory perch. Her bunions rubbed against the leather. That's really funny. Were you able to not return it? Because usually you have to return it whether you want to or not. That's really funny. Hi, Amber.
Hey, Amber.
Okay. So your business loans, do you want to talk about those at all?
I don't know if anyone's interested. I mean, I've been debating on, do I make a video about it? I don't know. I mean, short story without going into great detail. I applied for basically anything I could apply for when everything started up with all the stimulus packages. And I do have a business banking account. I have a separate business completely. It's all through my county. And so when the small business administration loans were happening, I reached out to my bank, and they notified me that morning that they were not going to participate. And it was just kind of a roller coaster from that point on. I was trying to find a new bank, but then new banks were saying you had to be a customer before a certain point. And I was really quite frustrated. And what I realized in that very short period of time, which I know you know what it's like to be around a CPA. When it comes to taxes, it's a process. There's a lot of things you need to kind of put together. But when I realized that this business loan and all these stimulus things were going on, I realized if I don't have my taxes in order, although they pushed the deadline for taxes, I wasn't a reseller in 2018 for the most part. And so if someone said, hey, we want to see that you're actually a business, I would need that 2019 stuff done. So I kind of just paused on YouTube for about, 5 or 6 days and got all my tax stuff done. And my dad filed for me. He's a CPA. And I did end up finally this week qualifying for 2 business loans. One was through the SBA site directly, which was the EIDL loan, disaster loan. And that was a small amount. And then there was a PPP loan, a payroll protection loan. And the problem was that was based off of your, basically your profit of 2019. Well, I had a lot of write-offs. I was a new business.
Because that was like your first full-on year.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was something, and it basically lasts for about 8 weeks, and there is unemployment, but that was starting at around the same time that I was finally accepted. So my decision was, my business is still operating, but I have taken a hit. And the loans weren't significant, but it is a little bit of cushion on top of my previous cushions. So
you were able to expedite all of that because your dad got your 2019 taxes into motion. So once those were filed, then that gave you the green light to apply for those. Absolutely. And that's why you got them. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, it was kind of a sigh of relief. I I know a number of business owners in California who are still waiting on unemployment, did not get their bank did not get them the PPP loan. So it's if anyone is a full-time reseller and has gone through any of this, it's been a bit of a nightmare. But I did spend a lot of time on it, and some of it did pay off. So I'm very fortunate for that.
That's good. I just wanted you to, if you wanted to talk about it, share for anybody who was interested in applying. I literally bring my W-2 forms to my husband and say, where do I sign? What do I check off? I'm the worst. I am the worst, and being married to an accountant has made me even that much worse. And so I've been on the phone with banks because I just got my business license as well. And so I've been like changing over credit cards and putting things under Lori's Boston Found. And he literally just sits there and laughs at me when I'm on the phone with the bank because we've been together so long. And he's like, this is so gratifying to watch you call a help desk.
So can we talk about that really quick? Because
Sure.
You decided to go, you didn't do sole proprietor. You did.
I did LLC, sole proprietor, right?
Oh, you did LLC. Okay.
LLC.
So what is that? Limited corporation, basically.
Limited liability.
So that separates it from your personal stuff. So it's completely separate, right?
Yes. And Jay's thinking for me only, right? Because he just gives me the advice. So many people ask me tax questions and I'm like, don't ever ask me any questions.
Yeah.
But no, he just thought that since I now have a website that I'm selling things through and doing some consulting and stuff like that, I guess I don't know if it's warranted to feel like there's a cushion or some protection going through Poshmark. But where we don't have that, it's just direct, that he feels like we really have to cross our T's and dot our I's more on the business, on the website. So that's why we decided to move forward. But it was, it was an investment in the state of Massachusetts. It's $500 a year. Is that annually you have to renew that, or is it a one-time thing? See,
I didn't do the LLC.
You'd have to ask my accountant.
Yeah. I unlike you, I didn't have much to lose because I don't have a family. So I mean, if there was some sort of issue and someone decided to sue me, I mean, there's not much to get. So, but I've thought about it. I had that conversation, and if I had a family, I would have gone that route as well.
Yeah, and it was just time to separate everything. Like I had a separate credit card that I used, but it was still our personal. We just knew when the bills came in that if it was on this card, it was for business.
Right.
And then like every time I ordered on Amazon, we have like an Amazon card that like kicks back 5%. So we would still use the Amazon, and and then Jay would have to take it out of my account. And it was just and now like selling things directly or whatever partnerships, any sponsorships, like little stipends that come in or whatever. It was just too complicated.
And
who's getting annoyed?
To create a business banking account, your bank required you to have some sort of doing business as some sort
of
separate
license, like a business license, I guess, for lack of a better word. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been, Jay's like, they took our money. So the state took the money, but we haven't gotten like the official paperwork back on it, but we're just waiting on that. But yeah,
it's so exciting.
It is. It's exciting. I feel like all the money that I would have saved from not thrifting this month has gone out to like PO boxes and this stuff. And, but it's good. It's just the cost of doing business, I guess, Oh, wait, Lara is a cake decorator in Vermont. She does such beautiful stuff. Boulder Hill Bakery. Is that the name of it, Lara? She's incredibly talented. LLC for my business through LegalZoom. Ooh, did you find that online? Probably. That's good, Lara.
There's a couple legal that they could do some legal stuff, whether it be like wills or business stuff. So that's good.
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tori said the same. Yeah. And that's the saving grace is
that's good.
Good info. Yeah. Yeah, I would say it is some work, but with all the small business stuff that's been going on with the stimulus stuff, you kind of had to have a business banking account for a lot of it. Not all of it, but some of it. And so it is kind of worth going through the work to kind of separate officially personal versus business. But it's not exciting, but it is helpful.
I mean, it is. I mean, in some way it's exciting to feel like kind of official, I guess, I think I went back and forth with my name for a year. So when I finally decided on something, then I felt like I could make a move with different things, you know?
Right.
Leslie, probably, yes,
Leslie?
for so many years, because Leslie has had like 1,002 businesses. She needs her license. Her knitting and her baking
Oh,
and her
she's incredible.
writing. Yes.
She's a hustler. That is
So they have
for
a
sure.
reseller license specifically. Oh, that's interesting. In Texas.
Yeah, we have a yeah, there's different things in California as well. And it just depends on like what your business is and what you plan to do with it. If you want to do wholesale, you would need one of those in California, but and it's helpful. So that's a good tip. I think most states have some version of that, but Restyle secrets. Great question. It's on my vlog channel. I mean, my leg is straight.
Oh, I missed it. Where is we were
talking
about this. Okay, we have to address this, Courtney. Courtney and I spoke about this before we went on the live because I was concerned about her. If anybody watches Courtney's second channel, which is City Girl Unplugged, you see all of her life like in the Wild West, literally, when she's out there. And go ahead, I'll let you tell the story, Courtney.
Yeah, so my vlog channel is...
Oh, wrong question.
Sorry. Yeah, it's fine. I did that so many times. I still do it on StreamYard. Yeah, so my vlog channel is just a hodgepodge of my life. So I left San Francisco and I moved to the middle of a very rural area. And it's, you know, there's a lot of learning opportunities. And this injury that I got this week was just my dog who got excited about a rabbit, and she was on a long leash and the long leash got tied up in my leg. And so I got some significant rope burn. But if you are bored and you don't want to watch reseller stuff, you can laugh at my life on my vlog channel.
You don't have to be bored to watch it. If you want to be thoroughly entertained, like there are sound effects, like it's the part that's really entertaining, or was entertaining for me, when Courtney tries to take care of her wound and it involves some rubbing alcohol. And I will let you.
I'm a wuss. I said,
no, you're not a wuss. It's alcohol on an open wound.
It is, and someone left a comment, and I think they were trying to be funny, of like, oh, you were so dramatic but entertaining, and I'm like, I think you could probably speak to this when you're on camera, you know, people are watching, so there is an elevated version of yourself. I think. I mean, I'm pretty much myself on both channels, but
I don't consider you a dramatic person at all.
But in that moment, I'm a really terrible sick person. I am just not. And I think it's because it's like one of the few times I wish I was married so that I could just like turn away, take the shots of vodka and have someone else deal with it.
Yeah.
But when you actually have to like do something to yourself, it's the anticipation that kills me. So.
And you were like, I wish I could bite something like they do in the movies. It looked really painful. And so are you feeling better?
I know. I mean, I'm better in that it's not an open wound. It's kind of it's starting to scab over, but it's just right on the crease. So every time I walk,
it was in a really bad spot.
Yeah.
So. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I think that stung quite a bit. So, how is your motivation these days? Like we are, I just did a video like 6 weeks into quarantine, like just, I'm starting to not lose motivation as the dogs keep coming in and out. I do this 100 times during every live. They're going to scratch in 2 minutes to go out. They're so bad. Just like, I don't know. I feel like the days are going by so fast. Are your days going by quickly?
I feel busier than ever before. And I sit there and going, when did I ever find time to thrift? Because I feel like I'm using up all of my time and I'm not necessarily doing much more. My motivation is pretty good right now. It's been up and down. There's days where I'll wake up and I'm ready to get the day going. And then there are days where it's like, I'm happy if I get my shipping done, you know, and I'm trying not to beat myself up over it. And, you know, I've got family Zoom game night every week. That's really important for me. Yeah. And I have to just appreciate those moments, you know, of just, it's not all about hustle for me at the moment. It's try my best, try and have good spirits. And also I've been just trying to create a little bit of a plan of like, what would I do differently with my business after this experience that could save me money, save me time, because I think it's a really unusual opportunity that we're getting right now.
I
And
agree.
so yeah, I'm getting organized, which is great. I'm
Good.
almost there, and I feel like I'm in a good space to, when they open some thrift stores at some point, I'll be in a good space.
Ready to
So
go. Yeah. Don't you feel like, what would I have ever done if this quarantine didn't occur? Like, I am pretty certain that I would have never gotten through my death pile.
absolutely.
I would have just probably never launched my website, never done so many things. Like, I actually feel like I'm in a little bit of a bubble. I admit that, because I'm home and I'm not, Hope from Racks to Riches is here, and she is in the COVID unit. And there are people that, this is not a bubble and this is not a vacation of any sort, but for me, I have like had this time, and it's been weird. Like, the days, they do fly by. And I think shipping has been the thing that's been pulling my productivity down, because I'm waking up later. Pre-corona,
Yeah.
kids would be out the door at 7:15, and I would just start my day. And now I'm rolling out of bed like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and watching Good Morning America until about 9, and responding to comments and emails. And I don't really get motivated until like 10ish, 9:30. And my mail pickup is between 9:30 and 11. So I hustle to get that ready. Sometimes I don't get everything. And that's when I kind of beat myself up. Like, why didn't you get off the couch an hour ago and get your shipping done? So then maybe I'll get like 4 out of 8 packages out the door, or whatever percentage out the door. And then I'm mad at myself, because now I still either have to go to the post office, or my customers are going to get their things a day later. And I'm not in your situation. Like, there's no excuse why my stuff, I have pickup every day, So last night before I went to bed, I packaged up 8 out of the 10 things that needed to go out. And like, my whole day was brighter. My whole day was better.
Yeah.
Because, and also, like, I had one online, like one from my website, one from eBay, and then the rest were from Poshmark. So, I had to weigh things like on my website. I use pirate shipping. So like, and then it like set the tone for my whole day. So I think I need to start doing shipping at night, or at least a portion of it, because it really throws me off when it's not done.
I would agree. It feels really great when you can do it at night. But then for me, it's also, when does your day end the day before? So it's a catch-22 for me. And I don't have many things, especially right now, going on at night. But normally, is that a time that I can go and spend time with friends, or, just be around people. Right now, it's not a toss up. But I would agree, if you can get your shipping done the day before,
makes a world of difference.
Oh, huge.
And I don't even like dislike shipping. Like, I don't mind the routine of it. It's just time consuming. I don't know if I'm inefficient or what my problem is, but I'm slow.
Yeah, no, I feel slower with shipping right now, but I think it's the same thing as you. I'm waking up, because I think my whole schedule's off. Even though I don't have to wake up at any specific time, because I source in LA, oftentimes 1 to 2 days a week, I wake up at about 5 a.m. And so then that sets me up for the rest of the week of, I'm not sleeping until 8 a.m. I'm waking up more at that 6 or 7 hour. And this year, I really stopped working past midnight. Last year, I was working past midnight till like 2 in the morning, a lot of nights. So, but this year, yeah, I right now, I just feel like, I don't know what's going on. I don't, there was actually on NPR this morning, I was listening to something when I was going to the post office, that it was this guy talking about time and how time has really impacted all of us, of like our internal clocks. It's not even just a clock that we can see on the wall or on our phone. It's just our routine that's been thrown off. And so we're all just very out of whack. And it was really quite interesting. But again, I'm just falling back on if I can get my shipping out on time, I've won.
Yeah, that's true. It's a win. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see what you can do.
I know I can't ever do the comments.
Makes for a better morning, especially if you don't stay up too late. I do agree. I have a hard time. I'm not like a super night owl, but I'm like midnight. I'll go to bed at midnight between 11:30 and 12. And Jay goes to bed so much earlier. But I feel like I could, you have to shut it down at some point, It's hard.
Yeah.
You ship very fast, Courtney.
Oh, wow. Hey, thanks, Madison. That's very sweet of you. I don't feel like I'm the quickest, but
Let me see. Oh, May 31st. We got to get creative for sure. Oh my goodness. This is my very first super chat. Anne Marie, thank you,
Aw.
Floppy Bob. Aw. Lori, have you looked at New
Oh.
Hampshire and when they're, I don't know, actually. This is so generous. Thank you so much. That is too much, Anne Marie. Thank you. I have not looked into what's opening when. I'm not sure what's happening with New Hampshire. Has anybody heard if anything's reopening?
So Arizona Goodwills, I think a couple of them. I don't know how many opened a week ago. And it was, I don't know all the background, but I know they have protocol of like different spacing in stores. And they've got I think the screen guard, someone can correct me in Arizona if they're on, but so it's a different experience, but they did open. I don't know much about California. I obviously don't know much outside of California, but I know we are getting kind of every couple days updates. I would imagine that there's going to be some thrift stores opening here within probably a month is my guess.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know. Massachusetts, we are just slammed right now. Slammed.
Yeah.
With the number of cases we have. And the mayor of Boston was on today. Thank you so much, Floppy Bob.
She's so awesome.
She's amazing. The mayor of Boston was on, and he was basically saying if we don't shelter in place through the summer, then fall's not going to be good for us because we're not in the best situation right now. But there is, I think things are in discussion, but there's really, I don't know who's New England Betty Boop. Have you heard anything, Lisette? Lisette is working for Instacart right now, hustling hard and working really, really hard. So I don't know. And Daniela works for the state. So Daniela, I think Rhode Island is starting to go back. I think they're before us, which I don't know if it's premature or what. I know Daniela has an opinion on it, but I don't know. Give each person their own bin. That would be
okay.
great.
I 100% just had that idea. Because I was talking to my mom, and we're sitting there going, she does a lot of yard sales, and we don't source together all the time anymore. But I said, like, what are the bins going to do? Because that's a great way for them to get rid of product, and before they have to sell it for salvage or something like that. And I honestly, San Diego actually has a process where you go and bid on a bin. Mm-hmm. You get X amount of time to look at that bin yourself. No one else can come dig through it. And then whatever's left, you go pass on and someone else can have it. But you basically paid for the right at that bin first. And they're pretty good sized bins. Yeah. And I think they're the tall ones. I haven't been to down there I've been to some of the thrift stores down there, but I feel like that's got to be something they're talking about of how can we keep people separate and still make
sell as much product as they're going to have. I mean, they're going to be so overwhelmed when they open. I mean, my trunk is full of stuff to donate. And so many people. So Texas and Arizona Goodwills are open. Not sure about the bins. Haven't gone in yet. Hey, Rocco. Come say hi. Yeah, come say hi. This is the child who needs his haircut.
Oh my God. All right.
No, come back. Somebody gave you a compliment and said how much they liked your hair.
All she talks about is how I need my haircut.
This is my baby. This is Rocco.
So wait, where's your mask that you got? Was it $1 bill?
Oh, it is $1 bill.
Oh, yeah. It was.
It's downstairs.
I like the hair. I think it's
right.
Thank
cool.
you. Oh, it's
yeah.
It's mirrored.
It's
it's
my
making
baby.
Me uncomfortable.
It's just like, what's funny is he had these great curls when he was like a little baby. And then he's been in sports and it's always been so short. And so this is like very new for him. Thank you for stopping by and saying hello. Yeah. The windows are open. Rock man. Nobody else says hi. Okay. Maine is not opening until at least June. Alexandria, I feel like that's where Massachusetts is going to be at, but I'm not positive. Thank you, Kathy. My baby. Oh my gosh. Lara knew him when he was little. Yes, he's a giant now, Lara. Everything reopening will kill us this fall. See, now this is Hope. She's our nurse. Hope, what are your thoughts? we'll be right back to square one. I hope not, man. Because right now we're thinking about like college in the fall. So we're of the mindset, like, let's just hunker down and get through the summer. And then, so things are open in the fall, just in time for flu season. But who knows? It's hard to know. Quarantine.
Yeah. Quarantine
Okay.
hair.
Yes, I have it too, except instead of like growing out, mine is gray and like half color, half highlight. We did it here at home, not until July in Washington. Yep. So interesting. Okay. I have some random questions for Courtney. I was inspired by like Jimmy Kimmel. They're kind of fun. They're fun questions. Yeah. Hold on. Where is this?
I'm an open book.
Yes. They're fun. And then I'll answer too. I won't just put you on the spot. Favorite Dave Matthews song?
First one that comes to mind, number 41.
Oh my gosh, that's my answer.
Yours?
That is my answer. And I'm like, it's not like a really like no. I mean, if you know Dave, you know number 41.
Yeah.
Courtney, that is unbelievable. That's unbelievable. That's my song. And then I was thinking like every day for like, upbeat. But no, all time number 41. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And Dave Matthews fans besides Courtney and I, listen to number 41. It's the best. Okay. That is so awesome. Okay. So Courtney and I both lived in San Francisco. So favorite restaurant, or it doesn't even have to be a fancy one. I have a few. So I don't even know if they're still there.
Oh my gosh. Now I feel like, they're so, okay. So a non-fancy one. Now I feel like I'm going to blank on names.
I know I had the luxury of kind of like, Jay, what was the name of this restaurant? What do we do? So I kind of cheated a little bit.
Because it's been a couple years. So there was a place, there was a pizza place on Divisadero. So I lived on Divisadero in the Western Addition. I lived in Lower Pack Heights, but that's also the Haight area and Hayes Valley. Anyways, there was a little pizza place. I am blanking on the name right now, but I used to go there because it was just easy to go by yourself. And you just kind of knew the community. It was like a neighborhood spot.
Like
and it wasn't amazing.
Like that neck of the woods.
Yeah, it was oh gosh, this is gonna be torture. I mean, I will say this. One of my favorite things about living in San Francisco was going to really nice restaurants. And so I feel like I went to a lot of restaurants once and loved them, but there was always a new restaurant to go to. So
there's a lot.
A Michelin star, here and there. And, but then there were also, dive spots. Like there was a place out in the outer Richmond that had this really great soup dumpling that I love soup dumplings. So I'm really bad at remembering names.
I don't even know. See, we were young. You were like a young professional there. So I was teaching when I lived there. And I put, Michelle, your comment up. You said you lived in Pacifica. I taught in Pacifica when I lived in California. Lived in San Francisco, but I was just saying to Courtney that I taught in Pacifica. That's where like all the surfers were. Yes. And it was crazy because when I taught in Pacifica, I'll never forget, there was like an alarm that went off in the classroom and all of the kids went under the desk. And I was like, dudes, we got to go. Like, that's a fire alarm. We have to go. They're like, no, it's earthquake. They were all hiding under the desk. Oh. And I had never experienced that because I was from New England. I'm like, you kids are weird. What are you doing? I would have told me that in a staff meeting. And then the other rule we had in Pacifica is the kids couldn't go off the blacktop because we would lose them in the fog. It was so thick in Pacifica. So they could only go so far, like outside at recess on certain days. Cause like the visibility, it was like 4 feet in front of you and then people were gone.
Yeah, we called it, well, in all the Bay Area, it was kind of Carl the Fog was the name of the fog. We named him Carl. Oh. And there's a Twitter account, Carl the Fog. And I had a thing for surfers. So most of the guys I dated were surfers. So I did date someone in Pacifica, Half Moon Bay, Santa Cruz. So I felt like all the coastline I'm very comfortable with, and I spent a lot of time there. I love Pacifica, but the fog is
The
crazy.
fog is heavy. So the
Yeah.
restaurants I thought of was the Stinking Rose. Did you ever go to the
Oh,
Stinking Rose? And they had like the garlic, like all in
in North Beach.
In North Beach, yes. So when we were there, I was a teacher, but we had like zero money. So like when we went out to dinner, it was a really big deal for us. And that was a very fancy night out. And I think one of Jay's like accounts when we were young, like gave him a gift certificate or something. And we went there. But one of my very best favorite places in that same area was LaGuardia Bakery. And they do just focaccia bread. You would walk in and they just had like a string and they would wrap it in paper and they only had like 4 different focaccia breads. Like amazing. Jay still gets it when he goes to San Francisco. Like my favorite.
I don't think I've been there. I mean, I've been to the Stinking Rose. I don't think I've heard of that.
It was like in the square area where like not North Beach, but like the green. I can't even think of.
Was there a church right there?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was in that area, but yeah, I loved that. All right.
Okay, so I just came up with 2.
Okay.
I shared 2. The Alembic up on Upper Haight had, it was actually a cocktail bar, but they had a lot of food as well. And they just had really unique dishes. So that was probably one of my favorites. And then there was a restaurant in, I can't remember the neighborhood, Outer Mission area called Plow. And they had an amazing brunch. So those are probably 2 that I would recommend if someone were going to San Francisco.
San Francisco. It's weird. I haven't been there since Anthony was born, so we're going to go back in the fall. But then there was a place on Pokers. We lived on the corner of Clay and Leavenworth and Nob Hill, and Polk Street had this great salad place called Pokers, and that was like more my speed, like a $9 salad. Like that's where we would go.
Did you ever go to the donut shop on Polk?
On Polk? I don't think so.
It was 24 hours. Oh gosh, I'm gonna blank on it, but yeah, it's well known because people can go and have their drinks and then go and get a donut. But
oh, yum! That sounds good.
Yeah,
love the donut plates. I do, yes, but I don't know if any are here right now.
Oh, State Bird Provision. Someone just said that. That's absolutely one of my favorites. I've been there a few times. I lived walking distance to there. So, and that was a very hard place to get into, but really.
Oh, look at that. Bob's Donuts. Is that the place?
That's the place. That's the place.
I've never been there. Okay. So what is your favorite quarantine beauty product or like something that like you need during quarantine?
So I feel like if you haven't tried one of these, I tried one on my vlog channel and I'll probably do it again in like a month. So you could do it every couple months, but it's a foot mask it's like a foot peel mask. I can't remember the brand. I want to say, I'm sure someone knows what I'm talking about. And so they can, put it in the chat or something, but anyways, yeah, it's
that sounds like a nice treat.
It's not, it's like, basically, if you have any calluses and you're used to going and getting pedicures and they kind of, rub stuff off.
Yeah.
This actually just over the course of, 4 to 6 days will take all your calluses off. And then you have this like baby soft feet.
Does it really? Definitely give me the name of that.
I think it's called baby foot. I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. That sounds really good. Yeah, it looks like there's some controversy over here.
Yeah.
I'm just ignoring. Can I? I don't know. I'm sure I can.
Yeah.
Hold up. There we go. We're good. Okay. So my favorite quarantine beauty product, and I use it all the time. Daniela loves the foot mask. I want to try that. I have bad feet.
Yeah.
So I say, you're growing out your hair during quarantine and everything's getting longer. But what I don't want to get longer is my mustache. So it's that little, it's like as seen on TV, it's that little like lasery thing. It looks like a lipstick compact. Somebody help me out here. The thing is amazing. It's like $20 at Walgreens or like whatever pharmacy. And it just like buzzes off your mustache. It makes you feel good and in the neck and all this stuff.
Does it work?
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. $20.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the foot masks are about $20 too.
Right,
Highly recommend.
Daniela? You're Italian. You get it. Or maybe it's just me. Yes. Okay. What will you miss the most about quarantine? I feel like we keep talking about, oh, what do you miss? I miss the restaurants. I miss my friends. I miss thrifting. But we're going to miss stuff about quarantine when we go back.
I hope that my family, because my sisters and my parents, we all live a couple hours away from each other. I hope that we continue the family game nights, because that's been an unwelcome surprise of kind of every Sunday. That's what we look forward to. And one of us plans the game for that week. And although I feel like I talk to my family a lot, it's different when you have these little Zoom things. So I hope we can continue that, because even if it's not every week, maybe every other week or something, it's been really nice. I think what I'll miss is just I don't know. I think right now it's the flexibility to kind of have some projects that I'm tackling that I don't feel like I ever have time to do. But that just started creeping up. The beginning of this, I was like, I don't have the energy for that stuff, but I'm talking about it like I do. Now I'm actually starting to tackle those. So
that's good. So it took you like a while to kind of formulate what you wanted to jump into and kind of get used to the changes, and then you were able to jump in.
What about you?
I think family stuff is what I'll miss. It's extremely, extremely rare for me to have all 5 of us home. And even when we're home, like Rocco and Angie, they're out all the time. And Anthony, of course, is away. So yeah, I mean, typical that. And I think for us, just being a really busy family of 5, like on the weekends, you know, Rocco has like baseball practice 5 days a week or baseball games, and Angie runs track. And then it's like the birthday parties, the first communions. Rocco was going to be confirmed at the end of the month. And graduation parties are like insane around here. Like it's just a revolving door. Like you go from graduation party, and it's all super, super fun stuff. But I feel like we get buried with commitments in the spring. And it's so strange. It reminds me of when we lived in San Francisco, because like the weekends were just ours. You know, a lot was we missed a fair amount of stuff back home, like weddings and babies being born and things like that. However, it was just so nice to just have the weekend. Like we wake up on Saturday and we're like, what are we going to do? And we'll go for a hike, the 5 of us, or like even tonight I'll miss the tiki bar. I'll miss like our tiki bar dance parties in my dining room with my kids and the lights. And like we had like a Harry Potter theme. Jay like went all out and got like all this Harry Potter stuff on Sunday. And we're just, this week they want to do Stranger Things. Like, I don't know what the hell we're going to do for Stranger Things, but like we're doing it. So a lot of the little things that, you know, you have the time to do, I will definitely miss. And I tend to get very antsy at home. And so like I'll get what I want to get done, and then I'm gone. Like I'm out for the day. And then when I finally make it home, I'm like rushing for dinner, and I've just gotten a lot more comfortable with being still. And I mean, I'm a very chill person, but I don't like to like sit at home all day.
Yeah.
I've just really embraced that. And I will, you know, I like that.
That's sweet.
Enjoy that. So I'll miss that. I hear you. I'm going to miss the downtime. Lara has 4 kids, and 2 of them are twins, and she's like an Energizer bunny. Like, I don't know how she does it. Yes, that's what it is. Flawless. Yes, that's it. That's the thing.
That's the thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks like a lips, you know, it's in my Amazon store, but it looks like a lipstick thing. And it's like, it's like makes this little buzzing sound. It's amazing.
I feel I've got usually blonde stuff, so I've never done any like face stuff.
Yes, you have more like you have like, are you Irish?
I'm mixed, a mutt, but my dad's side is more Norwegian Czech. My mom's English, Norwegian, some Irish, but most people mistake me for Irish, but that's like such a very small percentage. So it's more the Norwegian, I think, that gets the
not the hairy kind of people.
Not, I mean, yeah, like Neanderthals and stuff. I mean, yeah. But
yeah, you don't know my pain, Courtney.
I don't. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
True. Thank you. All right. Do I have any more questions? What has been your best sale since you've been in quarantine?
So, it's funny. Right before this, I filmed a What Sold that's going to go up tomorrow because I skipped a few weeks. I was doing What Sold over the weekend, and then I started getting really stressed on the shipping day of trying to show stuff. So then I was like, fine, I'll edit the photos in. Well, then I just skipped a few weeks. And I mean, it was all part of the tax time when I was trying to do that. Anyway, so I did a What Sold in April. And April was not a good month. I mean, we had the beginning of April, my sales tanked, and it's picked up, and I'm very thankful for that. But I noticed that one of my top sales of April, and I went into quarantine middle of March. So yeah, but it was a $99 Michael Kors purse.
Wow.
That was free from a family member on a porch pickup.
Oh my gosh. That is so nice.
And the person bought it at TJ Maxx on for $40 or $50, bought it and used it a couple times and just was in their closet. People clean things out. That's my biggest takeaway from all of this. As far as a reseller, there's a lot more free inventory out there that can bring in money. And for me, not having to drive to LA, can I leverage more of the people in my circle to get inventory? Even if it only sells for $10, if it's brought to my door, or if it's something where I'm not going out of the way to LA, I think that's my biggest lesson learned is there's a lot of stuff that my friends and family are donating to Goodwills that I can get because they'll just give it. And that $99 sale.
Are you experiencing any awkwardness with do you pay people? I feel like that's been my struggle too. Plus I feel like I have a lot on my hands right now. So I haven't hit that point yet. I probably would in maybe a month, but people seem to just be wanting to get rid of it and give it. That's
so I've had questions on some YouTube videos where I've shown a free haul here or there. And some people say oh, I'm having a hard time. How do you ask people? I'm not putting this on Nextdoor. I'm not putting this on Neighborhood Watch. I'm simply just sending direct messages to some friends who I know kind of their style. Now, I did have some family members who reached out who knew what I do for a living and said, hey, I've cleaned out my closet. So like I told you, I have an aunt up in Portland.
Yeah.
I was happy to pay the shipping, but to pay shipping to get something, a box of 25 pounds of stuff, the shipping of that is going to be equivalent to a ThredUp box, is going to be equivalent to. So if you know the person and maybe where, I don't think these boxes are going to be 100% hits, but if there are half the stuff that I would buy for $1 and I'm pretty much, paying that in shipping. So I think that's what I've decided I've learned from this is how can I leverage people I know? So I'm the middleman between Goodwill. So I can take stuff from people. I'll go take it to Goodwill for them, especially in Tehachapi where I live, we're an hour away from a Goodwill. So can I network with more people? And
that's super helpful for people in your area, right? Because they're not going there as frequently as people in urban places.
Right. They can't just swing by on their way to the grocery store. So I think that's my biggest lesson learned is how can I leverage more of that stuff to get inventory? It might not be inventory I select, but I'm also not super picky. So
yeah, I feel like I've gotten less caught up in, oh, this brings me joy just because I don't have a choice. I'm just going through my drawers. I'm going through Angie's. I'm going through death piles and things I've picked up and put away for seasons. And just, I feel like I'm getting better at just being more of a machine, just get it up, measure it, list it, go, and sometimes it's very surprising what sells. I pass on Michael Kors a lot. It's not one of my brands that I love to pick up or buy, but it is one of those brands that some people still love it. And it's a designer brand to certain people. And I mean, it is in a sense, right? I mean, they do have a higher end and lower end.
Well, that's, I think, why I don't pick up Michael Kors is because I can't distinguish what's sold at TJ Maxx versus what's sold and desirable. And I don't take the time to learn. Whereas if you get some free inventory, it gives you the time to just look something up. And this person was mind blown. How did you just sell this used for double what I paid for it? And this goes into retail arbitrage because that's why people shop at TJ Maxx and Nordstrom Rack for those types of deals. But that just happened to be part of a set that was desirable and no longer made. So it was bought 2 years ago. So that's what's interesting to me is realizing, that there are a lot more opportunities out there that I think we all get. You and I have talked about this offline. we like thrifting, you know, we like the thrill of the hunt. I'm just discovering there's still a thrill of the hunt with free inventory. So how can I make that a little bit more in my routine and make it easy for people to, where I can still donate things on their behalf, but maybe just take out the items that might have some value.
Yeah, I mean, you could essentially be like like around here, it's like Big Brother, Dorrigan. It's Big Brother, Big Sister, like where they will contact people and they do like front porch pickups or driveway pickups, and you could be that person. And as long as, I mean, I think in some cases people will say, well, I'd rather give this to Goodwill, knowing it's going to benefit a foundation or an organization rather than, help somebody profit. But some people don't care. And in a sense, realistically, if you got a bag, if you started doing this more regularly, like I got a couple of bags from a friend here in town. Lara, if you're still listening, Anna Lee gave me like two bags, and I just sold an Adidas shirt from one of her sons. Her boys were really into like the streetwear clothing. So I learned about a lot of brands from them because they weren't brands that I would typically pick up, but a good portion of their stuff has sold. And it's been, like you said, it's been kind of exciting. And she wasn't really attached to like the donation piece. And she felt bad when I offered to take the bags. I'm like, no, honestly, I'm at Savers twice, 3 times a week. Don't worry about it. Like, I'll just donate it. And so sometimes that's enough for somebody, is to know, you're probably only going to take a fraction of the bag to sell.
Absolutely. And you save them the gas, or you save them the hassle. And yeah, there's a convenience factor. So yeah, I would agree. I think some people might be connected to, they have their nonprofit, whether it be Salvation Army or LA has a number of other thrift store chains, kind of more local. But, if they aren't connected to a thrift store, the majority, like you said, are probably going to be donated, a few things picked up. But if they know me, this is again why I'm not blasting it on Nextdoor or anything like this. This is people that I know, and I kind of know their style, where they shop. And there's some duds, but I'd rather pick out some good stuff, and it's free,
Right.
So.
Well, even, thank you, Amber. I just blocked her. What is with the trolls here tonight?
They're bored.
What, I just don't even understand what you and I could, I just don't get it.
I think there's a way to search on YouTube, and I could be wrong, maybe some other, but.
I blocked her though, but thank you. Yes. You know what? You're one of my moderators.
I'm not logged in on that account though.
Huh.
Because I didn't set this up.
Right. Oh, maybe because it was the email I sent to you. I mean, I have a few people who are moderators. They're just not here tonight. So
I know I'm terrible at keeping up. So I think that there's a way in YouTube, and I could be wrong, that people can search for just lives that are going on. It's just they're random people.
But seriously,
I know.
Nothing better to do.
I know. Sorry, guys, we're not keeping up with the.
No. Thank you. I've blocked 2 people in the conversation. So thank you for people paying attention. Well, what was I going to say? Yeah, those suits you sold. Those suits.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's an example of, stuff I wouldn't normally pick up. And I'm not, I think that's the thing. If you have a styled closet and you're only on Poshmark, then something like a, Tahari suit or a Le suit probably won't make sense. But for me, because I have eBay, because I don't list everything on Poshmark, but because I have eBay, I'm pretty much willing to list anything. And, it just goes back into, if you're doing this for joy and for fun, kind of like what you were saying, then this might be a hard time for you because you can't go select the inventory you want.
Right.
For me, it's hard because I don't get to be out around people, but I still am finding inventory. And I don't know, let us know if you guys were style based. Like you said, you kind of opened up a little bit.
For sure.
Are you kind of opening up to different things, that type of thing?
I mean, I think the biggest thing that I've done over this, like with all the purging that I've been doing, I think the bundle boxes that I've been putting together have been a good way for me to let go of inventory that's not really inspiring me and just move it. I'm doing like 5 to 7 pieces in a box for $30. I mean, there are some resellers right now who are buying pallets, and they're doing like these great new with tags, 8 to 12 items for $25, and they're new, like Nordstrom Rack. And there's like 3 people that I can think of right now who are doing these, and they're flying.
Yeah.
So I feel like my stuff is used and they're getting not as much, but it's $30. But I mean, for me, I'm not marketing it to resell, but it's been really nice. I feel like I'm getting faster at just identifying, like, you know what, this is like a, I don't know, Abercrombie and Fitch sweater. I mean, it's cute. I could probably sell it for $15, but I'm going to throw it in a box and move it. And I've sold, you know, a fair amount, like maybe 23 boxes now. I'm just not doing so many at once, but I guess I'm getting better at like deciding, because I still have other things I still need to list. My goal right now, I think, is to just get through it. I just want to get through it. So I'm probably taking a little bit of a hit on some of those items, because maybe, you know, if I'm putting 6 items in a box that maybe on their own would sell for $10 or $12 each, and I'm selling the box for $30, it's like half of what I could be making, but it's moving much faster. So to me, it's kind of worth it to get rid of the clutter.
I absolutely agree. I think it's awesome. And I think, I mean, someone basically made a mystery box kind of, I did a what sold, and some of my lowest items that sold were in this bundle. And she put together a bundle of basically some items that were $5 to $10 in my Poshmark closet. They were a year and a half old. They were, you know, when I was a new reseller. And I think there's some, I think just people need to list right now, and there's some trust with you, and there's some trust with certain people. And I think that that's great. So here's a concept I saw tonight. I made a purchase on Poshmark, and I almost never make purchases, but I made a purchase. So there's a girl on Instagram. She's not on YouTube, and her Instagram name is Posh Bellwether. I think that's what it is. I wish I could type it, but I can't. So she's a lawyer. So she's a reseller part-time. She is up in the Pacific Northwest, and she's one of my favorite people on Instagram to follow. She, along with 2 of her reseller friends, are doing something that I guess may have been inspired by the Deal Queen, but don't quote me on that.
Okay.
Of a name your price sale.
Oh, I've seen a few people do this.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. So I knew the Deal Queen with, and Southern Stone did it, and somebody else did.
That's her. That's one of her friends. The dame and the dame and the Duke and the dame.
Okay.
I don't know. And then Laura. So basically, I think the 3 of them decided we're gonna do this. We're gonna name. No joke. One of them hit $5,000 in sales in one day. I think that was Southern Stone.
Yeah. You have an insane amount of packages.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. But so I decided, okay, I want to support this because I know they're trying to move inventory, but I would have such a hard time giving someone like under 50% offer. So I gave her I think I gave her an offer of $30 on a Kuba bag, which I don't know if you know Kuba, but it's
Kooba, Kuba.
Yeah. So I've picked up and sold a couple of them, and I know the quality is really great, but they don't have a strong resale value. So she had one of those listed, and I was like, I don't have a tan bag. I want to support her in her. So I sent her an offer of $30, and she had it listed for $55. And I was like, it's just over 50. But people,
I get those kind of offers every day, and I accept them.
Some people were giving her offers of $30, and she had it listed for $150, and she was accepting. It was mind-boggling. It was mind-boggling. I have this glare right here, but
wow.
But go down.
That would be such a leap of faith as a seller to do that. But then what I noticed is, like, I've only run a sale, like, and it wasn't even of that caliber, even a little, but like where I did a countdown and there was a beginning and an end, and it like got the adrenaline. It was like a rush when I did the buy one, get one free weekend at the end of Thriftless February, because it was the end of the month and I just wanted that last push for sales and that last push to just get rid of stuff. Yeah. And I want to say it was like $1,500 in like a day and a half. I think I started it on Saturday, and I think I took a couple stragglers on Monday morning, but that to me was the biggest weekend I had ever had, $1,500. And not everything came from the buy one, get one free, but it was this great, it was a fun thing. But I found that after, like when it was over, I was a little like, like I would receive offers, or I was giving offers like, you know what, I will take 50% for that. Like you just kind of get in this And I think that's where I'm at with the bundle boxes, where I just want to like push things out. So I think $6 and out the door is better than, sitting on it but there are still things that I'm like, I'm still countering on things, and it's never going to be everything in my closet, but
right.
That is are you thinking about doing it?
Absolutely not. I think I would if I were part-time and I wanted a bit of a boost. But one of the other interesting things she's talked about.
Sorry.
No. Bye, Tori. And she's heading to a virtual happy hour. So cheers, Tori.
Have a drink for us.
Yeah, I'm having one. You had your tiki.
No, I'm hydrating now, but now I feel like I could have another drink now. We're like halfway through. We're good, or however.
So the other thing that she's talked about, I want to know your thoughts on this, because every company I work with in any way, shape, or form has addressed what's been going on in the world. And I don't know if that's me, but I think there might be a little bit of an echo. Do you hear it?
I'm not hearing it.
Oh, good. Okay. It's just me then. So one of the things she's addressed is that Poshmark hasn't really made any statements. And she linked on her Instagram that one of the founders was interviewed by Fortune recently within the last week, basically saying we were keeping an eye on it. We didn't do anything, but now we're starting to see sales kind of normalize. So that basically, do you have any thoughts on Poshmark addressing what's been going on with sellers and helping sellers like a lot of the other platforms have done, as far as like waiving fees or reaching out in a way?
I guess I don't have I've actually just kind of had my head down and have been working, and I haven't been paying attention to all that's been going on, but people are very upset. I think that, I guess my feeling on Poshmark in general, even though it's my preferred platform, is I feel like there are a lot of smoke and mirrors, and I feel like they do a lot of gimmicky things that I think it's just kind of a waste of time. Like, I don't mind the sharing to the parties, and because sometimes it motivates me to just like, okay, I'm just going to like share these items, and I'll like click on all the brands in my own closet. Like today it was like Michael Kors and Coach and, 7 for All Mankind. And I click them all, and then I get all the brands up that I have, and then I blast them out and I share to the party. But where it was like the TikTok dance, and then we'll donate like $5 or something. Like, it was something just like a joke. Like, I don't even understand where their head is at. It just seems really unprofessional and really insensitive. And then they had the, I watched Amber today. Amber had, she did one of the mystery boxes that they sold for $11. Right. And I didn't think Amber's was bad. I mean, it wasn't like anything like blow your hair back, but I mean, she was definitely going to make her money back and then some. And $11 is really inexpensive.
Really cheap.
But I think that the issue was they just ran out of them so quickly, and that some of the stuff was really, really flawed, or just really like dirty or whatever. Like, I'm not really like, that was something that's been a buzz lately. I mean, in general, my dad hurt his hand. His wrist is injured. He hasn't shared for me in like 9 days. And I am just like such a baby now. I'm like, I have to share my closet? Are you kidding me? Wait a second. I don't like this. So I was sharing today, and I clicked on a couple things, and it says this item hasn't been shared in 9 days. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, because I get a full closet every day, and then whatever I do is just gravy. So, and I feel like it's impacted my sales a little bit. And that's when I get mad at Poshmark. Like, what the heck? Like, do you know how much business I do? Like, they can't throw me a free round of shares. Like, I feel like there should be something with the sharing. Like, that gets to me more than anything. Like, I feel like all the talk right now about the stories and being able to.
Oh, I haven't heard about. I'm not on Instagram very much, so I don't know the.
Well, I watched Posh Boss Blake. He does like that Eat With Me. And today I was just working, and I happened to hop on to his YouTube video, and he spent a lot of time talking about how last year at Poshmark they were, they talked about adding stories, and he wanted to know if it would be something that you could basically push over to Instagram. And I think the answer was no, or they didn't give him a straight answer. And basically they want to keep the stories within their own platform, right? And so then the question is, well, are you a social media platform or are you a selling platform? And Blake was just saying how, I want to be as efficient as possible. Like Instagram is enough work as it is. Like I don't want, how am I going to push this to all of my followers? Like when you have 60,000 followers, I mean, you get an absurd amount of followers on Poshmark. So there's just like, I don't feel like they're very straightforward. My two biggest pet peeves are the sharing and the lack of customer service, that you can't contact them for customer service. Like, I just don't even know how much they really want our feedback. They say that they want it, but I feel like there's a lot of wheels spinning.
Yeah. I mean, I've addressed, Poshmark is great in so many ways, and any business, I mean, it's kind of, no one's going to be perfect. No business is going to be perfect. And so I think it's normal for all of us to kind of be, hey, they could improve this, they could improve this. And I don't think it means that we don't like the platform. Kind of to your point, like it's your preferred platform and you could like it. I just thought it was interesting that Posh Bellwether was kind of addressing their lack of addressing all of what's going on in the world and how it's impacted sellers. And I hadn't really thought about it too much. I haven't heard too much about the stories. I did know they announced it at last Posh Fest, but I didn't understand what it would drive as far as sales. Like, why put it to work if it's going to not drive any revenue?
Right. It seems like it would be much more labor intensive for what the payoff could potentially be. Like, my feeling is like, you're probably better off listing 4 to 5 items in the time it's going to take you to create some fancy story to put up. I mean, but that's just my opinion. But as far as like, on eBay, I have gotten notifications like 500 listings for free, or I do feel like it seems like eBay is putting into play, not that I'm taking advantage of any, because I'm just like a sucker for punishment on Poshmark, I guess. I apparently don't want to make money. No. But it seems like eBay is offering a lot more. I mean, Poshmark hasn't offered a single anything, nothing.
eBay waived the fees. Like you basically, if you needed to wait to pay your fees, you could. I mean, I kept up so that I didn't get backed up. They weren't saying that you didn't have to pay them, but that if you needed more time to pay them to pay your other bills, which I thought was really nice. The extra listings is nice. And that actually is money for me because I cap out every month at the 1,000 listings and I go over that. So yeah. So I just, I mean, I think that we're starting to normalize, but it was just interesting to kind of see someone else's perspective. So
I don't really ever feel supported by Poshmark. I don't say that in like a bitter way, because I just feel like I'm pretty independent. I don't like rely on them for, like the games, like the literal games, like the fun things. Like I don't know. I share my closet. I share to the parties. I do offers to likers. I don't like to participate as much in closet clear out because I hate to drop my price and then raise it. I'd rather take the hit on the $2 and an offer to liker and be in control of the main price than drop it and worry about going back,
Right.
For Resale Secrets, does Poshmark really want to accommodate professionals, or is their revenue coming mostly from personal closet sellers?
I would say that the one thing I heard, and this could be off, but I would say probably Poshmark similar to eBay, that 90% of their sales is coming from 10% of their sellers. And so that's why I am amazed that they don't kind of cater to that 10% a little bit more. And I think they do. I think they've got relationships.
90% of their sales come from 10% of their users.
That's what I heard that eBay has said in the past. So I'm assuming it applies to Poshmark.
To Poshmark as well.
Or something similar. And don't quote me on it. Don't beat me up. But I would assume, because there are, like me, it would take a lot of single individuals selling 50 items to match up with what I've sold.
No, I agree.
For you.
Yeah, so, no, I completely agree.
So I think that probably, maybe not 90%, but something that is at least the majority of their sales is from a small percentage of sellers. And, something like the sharing and stuff like that is a bit tedious. But, all I can hope, and I know I've talked about this with Amber, who's in the chat, is that they just start asking for feedback. I've sold over 2,000 items and I've never had a conversation or been asked for feedback from Poshmark.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. But I still feel like I really rely on them in a sense, like I was talking about moving some of my items over to my website. And I don't know that I could ever like just say, that's it, peace out, Poshmark, because that's where all my money's coming from. I mean,
Yeah.
the majority of it right now.
Yeah.
Lara said, you should have the ability to select your entire closet and share. I mean, if we've said this once, we've said it 1,000 times. Yes, good grief. I agree, Lara. My thing, this has always been my pitch, which if I could ever talk to them, I feel like after so many shares, you should earn shares. Like if you're playing like some sort of if they like games. So, if you share 500 items, you get 200 shares automatically, the next 200 in your thing, or because then I feel like you'll be rewarded based on the size of your closet, right? I mean, if you only have 50 items in your closet and you need to hit 500 shares before you get a free 100 shares or something like that, then it will be rewarding people with larger closets, or it will be rewarding people who are sharing their closet frequently throughout the day. So I feel like there should be some reward. And it would almost be fun, like if they had like a counter, like, you've shared 450 items today. If you share 50 more, you get 100 free shares or something. Like, I feel it could be like this built-in incentive to just, because I feel like they're playing games anyways. So at least if they want us to keep that sharing element, if we share X amount, I feel like there should be some sort of a reward for it.
Interesting. I have not heard of this concept, but
It's mine. I came up with it.
Oh. You need to trademark that. You need to, claim
it's a Lori original.
Have you said this before? I've missed that. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think that's where I do feel penalized. Like, because I have a large closet, I feel penalized, even though I put in the work to build that large closet. But
yes, I agree, because now that I've been feeling the pinch without the assistance, or, it's like, okay, so your reward for having 1,000 plus or 700 plus items is you have to pay for a VA to share your closet. Like, it seems really counterintuitive that the people who really feed this business are the ones that have to invest outside of it.
Yeah.
In some way.
Or could we invest in Poshmark? Because I'd do that. I would pay. I mean, that's where it goes into the promoted.
It just seems but then it's a little, I guess it's like pay to play, the more, to me, that would almost be like the equivalent of a promoted listing on eBay,
right,
where you're paying for it, but then you're getting more exposure.
Which, I think this is the controversy that we see, that it's a no-win situation, but I do hope that they try new things, because And I just hope that they just, get feedback outside of PoshFest, get feedback, not just big sellers, but your big sellers are probably, that's their job, or, that's their main income. And, don't be afraid of the criticism, because the criticism is only going to make you stronger. You and I get criticism every day on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Whether we want it or not. And as much as it's hard to take, I think it has made me a better person on YouTube, because it's a learning opportunity to.
Yeah, you have to get thick skin. I got a criticism yesterday. I was talking about my, like the consulting that I wanted to do. And in the month of May, I'm offering it for $25 instead of $50. So it would, whatever, closet review, and then you fill out a questionnaire, and then we have a 30-minute Zoom call face-to-face, plus the time I put in. And someone just said, it was like half a compliment, but like, it's nice that you're offering a discount, but I don't think it's really fair that you would charge $50 for advice when people are struggling so hard. And I was just like, I believe she wasn't trying to be mean, but I just said, all of the free content that I give on YouTube, I hope that people benefit from that, or learn from all of the resellers who are researching stuff and sharing information as often as we do. And I said, the consulting or the coaching would be for people who may ask me a one-off question and they just want more, right, or just a conversation or whatever. But yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting, but you can't please everyone. What are you going to do?
Yeah. And I mean, there's definitely some feedback like that, I mean, it's to each their own. And it's also, it's different being on this side than if you're not on this side, I mean, I think I have a different perspective on YouTube after making YouTube videos than I did just watching YouTube videos.
Mhm.
Because I think I don't know if people understand how many hidden questions and comments come your way. And it does start to, how do you respond to everything and still run the business and still do the videos? And there's a fair thing. For me, it's always been, if I'm going to respond to this person, I don't want to ignore this person. And, how do you, so I think the coaching's a great idea. I haven't done it, but I think it's great because there are a lot of people that I just want someone to look at my stuff and give me some feedback. And it's, you also want someone that you can trust. And I think you've really built a platform of people can trust you. Mm-hmm. So is it a good time? I don't think it's a good time for some people at all for anything. And it's a hard time, for a lot of us, but I would say that discount's a really great discount, and it could maybe leverage someone from maybe selling, $100 in a month to maybe $200 in a month or $300 in a month. And
yeah, I mean, I think $25 is, I mean, and also because I'm new at it, I thought that it was appropriate too, because I'm going to learn and grow through the experience as well. And I may be a better coach in 2 months than I am right now. So the people who are giving me a chance in the month of May will be able to work on that. But I figured out something on my website, if anybody. So right now, when you go to my website, it just said closet consult, email me at this, and we can discuss, moving forward. And then I have like a little questionnaire, but you can do like plugins through Shopify. So I just Googled, how can I do like a scheduler for my website? And I found this app. It's so fascinating. The world of Shopify is like this. It's like this whole new world to me. But I was able to download. It's like a plugin, like I link Pirate Ship to my website. It's just like that. So Pirate Ship is one of my apps, and then this, I can't think of the name of the company, but so now people can go in and I list it as a product, like coaching/consult, and you do a duration, like you click on a duration. So I say 30 minutes, and then you do a price. So I have $50 is normal, but it's $25 for the month of May, and I can do a whole thing. So somebody actually went on, and I put like 6 time slots for every week. I have like morning, afternoon, and evening on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I kept Monday and the weekend off. But I was just fascinated that I could do this. And I woke up this morning and someone went in there and they booked it. So it was great to me to be able to because otherwise it's like a DM, like I'm interested. And then, okay, what time is good for you? Okay, let me email you. Okay, how do I pay? Let me give you my Venmo. It goes back and forth. So I was so excited to discover that. So yeah, I was happy. It's the little things that make me happy right now.
I would have, I watched very few people when I first started reselling. I only watched a couple people on YouTube, but if they had offered something like that, I would have paid the $25 happily, or 50 even, because again, it's just to have a set of eyes from someone who you trust from YouTube.
And honestly, what I say, may be different than what you say. And I think that's where the connection comes in. If somebody wants to talk to me, or the first person I worked with, I gave her some feedback about her background. She was actually a photographer, and her pictures were absolutely beautiful, but she had like a charcoal gray background, like a darker background. And I said, you might want to consider a white background. And she was like, no. She's like, she was like fantastic. Like it was almost in a joking way. She's like, because her images were stunning. Like she's a photographer. They were absolutely gorgeous. And I just said, I'm thinking that maybe if the background were white, but then, it's still her creativity if she decides to keep it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough.
What do you got? Does anybody have any questions in the chat?
I know.
There seems to be a lot of conversation I'm missing.
Someone's talking about Chico's and Talbots. A lot of women love. Yeah, I mean, those are definitely 2 brands that I don't know if you ever pick them up, but I'll sell them $10 to $20 easily.
Yeah, I definitely pick up. I love LL Bean too, the Freeport store.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. So some of those brands are, and even more money than that. I tend to go for like coats and like bigger, like pretty detailed things. I have a
Right.
fun story about LL Bean. When I was in college, a million years ago, LL Bean they were open 24 hours. I don't know if they still are. But it was like the middle of the night and we were all bored. We were up and we're like 3-4 hours from LL Bean. And I was like, let's drive to LL Bean. And we got in the car and we drove like 4 hours just to walk around LL Bean because they would be open like at 2 a.m. And I bought a mountain bike with my credit card that I had just gotten from, it was the first credit card I had ever gotten. I bought a bike and had it shipped to my college dorm. It was crazy. I wasn't very responsible.
Okay, was that one of those you're on the college campus and they have those booths of people and they're like, you qualify?
Yes, that's how I got my first credit card. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I was in Boston, so I'll blame just Boston in general. I went, my first college was Bentley College, which was in Waltham.
Get out.
Yeah.
That's so funny. One of my daughter's really good friends is going to Bentley. I lived in Waltham.
Oh, yeah, and I say it incorrectly, which they corrected me. They corrected me on 2 things. So I grew up saying, and we're getting off another tangent, but I grew up saying, what do you call the thing on the stick that's hard candy that you lick?
A lollipop?
Right. I don't.
You call it a sucker?
Yeah. Which I was in a store on campus at Bentley, and I said to my friend, hey, do you want a sucker? And I held it up and the whole store just turned and they're like, what in the world? And I was like, why is everyone staring at me? I mean, I'm 100% confident that this was like a Friday night and there was some sort of, underage beer or something, but everyone turned to me and then she came over and whispered and she's like, we call those lollipops here. And I was like, really?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I wonder when you were in Waltham, I wonder if I was there at the same time as you. I wouldn't be surprised. We both like number 41 the best.
I know. 2000.
I was
2000 to 2001.
That's just crazy. I had Anthony. So we were in San Francisco from 96 to 99. And I got pregnant when I was in San Francisco and we moved home. Whatever the last day I could fly was when I flew home. And Anthony was born in April. So I flew home in March of 99. And my mom and dad, we bought a house in Waltham. We went home for Christmas, bought the house, flew back to San Francisco. We gave my mom and dad power of attorney. So they closed on the house because I was crazy pregnant. And so that when I came home, we had a mattress to sleep on because my parents didn't want me physically moving stuff. So they made sauce and meatballs and we had a bed to sleep on. But it was March of 99 and we lived there until Angelina was born. We moved out here in 2002 to where we live now. So I was in Boston.
We were there at the same time. Yeah.
That's
crazy.
Just crazy.
And that's a small area because
yeah, no, it's not big at all. It's not big at all. And my son, Anthony, when he got older, he played club soccer and the practices were at Bentley College. But that was later when he was in the 7th grade. But no, I lived down the street. I lived, where the ground round was or right where, we can talk later. But anyways, I lived close to the college. That's just crazy, Courtney.
So funny.
Same time. I didn't know you went to Bentley. But yeah, I don't even know what we were talking about now. We're talking about suckers and you said Waltham.
I know, and it was also I say tennis shoes, and you guys call it sneakers.
Sneakers,
yeah. So those were the 2 big ones that I got, and then I also when I first saw Worcester, I said Worcester.
Worcester. Everyone does that because it's spelled WORCESTER, and it's Worcester.
See, I can't. But then you've got the thick accents, and you're like, all right, so there's no R there, there's no R there, there's.
Yeah, no, it's hard to try to figure us out. Hi everyone, I'm late to the party. You're not late. We're still going. How is Courtney's leg? You're gonna have to watch back, Belle. She's doing better. She's doing better. We were worried about you.
I know.
But anyways, where are the best places to thrift? There are so many places in Mass. I love the Goodwill Outlet in Boston. I shop at a lot of Savers. There are a couple honey holes in Worcester. Right now, there's no place. There is no place. I have to text someone in my family to bring me the battery because it just said I have 6% on my phone. And this would be really bad. Let me just get StreamYard up on my computer. Let me call one of my children. All
I'm
right.
going based off of light. My light's dwindling. So I'm guessing I only have probably another 10, 15.
Oh, gosh. All right. We should make it quick. Hi, everyone. I'm late. How's everybody in the chat doing? Has everyone?
I know. We're so
I haven't
bad.
been very good. Aw.
Okay, so someone asked, do you ladies sell on Facebook Marketplace locally? And if so, how does it work for you? So I don't know if you've ever talked about Facebook Marketplace or Let Go or Offer Up, but do you sell on any of those?
I don't very regularly, although I'm picking up a whole office suite tomorrow. Daniela, I'm driving to Cranston tomorrow to pick up like a 5-piece IKEA office set from somebody. We have to pick up a U-Haul at 8 in the morning, and then we're driving there. So I am going to be listing all of my stuff that I currently have on Craigslist. I use Craigslist, but it's mostly for furniture. I don't really do a lot with Facebook Marketplace in general. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose focus for 1 second.
Yeah, so I'll
Carry the conversation.
Yeah, no, we can do that. So I don't sell on Facebook Marketplace too much. I have sold a few things, but I also live in a very small area where there's very few people. So it just doesn't really make sense where I live. But if I lived in a bigger city, I would probably be utilizing it a lot because I've heard people are killing it right now on Facebook Marketplace, Offer Up, and Let Go. So, all right, I'll just go through some questions. Let's see. 139 people in the chat. Oh, I just looked. 140 people in the chat. That's crazy. Hello, everyone. Lori will be right back. I think we'll probably have another 10, 15 minutes to hang out before
you lose power?
No, before I'm just in the pitch black dark. I didn't
Oh,
set up my lighting.
I know your lighting is so good. I'm always like, thank you, honey. Yeah, I'm always like artificial lighting around here.
I know. I usually for the lives have it just backed up just in case, but today I was like, oh, it's fine. It's early.
We won't talk that long.
I just have to say, Lori, this has been such a fun live because we talk offline.
Yes.
And I just feel like we're talking, but then there's people watching us, but there's a lot of familiar names and familiar faces. And so it's just like, we're all just a little hodgepodge of people hanging out on a Friday night. So I appreciate it.
I love it. Okay. I feel much better. I'm plugged back in. So we have until it gets dark with Courtney.
I know. It's
I want to hear what each of your best bins find is. Ooh.
I just talked about mine recently. So I'll start. So I had a video recently where I compared ThreadUp or just talked about my experience on ThreadUp and the Real.
Yep.
I think my best sale was actually a Simone Roca dress on ThreadUp for I think I was paid out $280. Wow. I bought it at the bins and it was like 12 ounces. So it cost me $1.50 or something.
Right, and so if your payout was $250, what did they sell it for?
It was I got paid out 90. I got 90% of what they paid it out for. So I think they sold it for right around 300 and I got 280 or basically 270. Yeah.
That's so good.
I got the majority of what they sold it for.
So thrilling. Like the bins finds are like, there's nothing as exciting as a good bins find. As you were talking, the one that comes to mind is I had found a Montclair down coat, jacket, whatever. And it was filthy. It was like a blush pink and it was so dirty. And I soaked that sucker with the baking soda Dawn. I was like, it was lightweight. Down is light. And our bins are $1.39 in New Hampshire. So it probably, maybe cost $3 at most. And I didn't even know the brand until just about a week before I had been at the bins. I was looking for a jacket and I was in Nordstrom and they led me over to the Montclair jackets. They were like $1,900 a piece. I'm like, no, I'm good. But that's how I knew the brand. Otherwise I would have passed it over because it was so dirty. But I think in the end, I don't know. It sold for, I think I listed it for $325, but I took like a $240 offer on eBay, something like that. I had a really good sale today. I'm so sorry. They're watching Star Wars downstairs. They're watching the trilogy. So the Giuseppe, I can't think of the the designer. I found these crazy heels. I don't know who's wearing these heels in quarantine, but I posted them on my, someone's
Okay,
having getting, you know?
Yeah. Because I told
Didn't
you.
you sell a pair of like crazy shoes?
Yes. I told you, because we were talking offline. Sorry, everyone. I sold a pair of stripper heels
Yeah.
that I thought were insane when I picked them up. They were like an 8-inch heel with a 3-inch platform.
And they sold for good money, didn't they?
I mean, 50, $60 or something like that. But yeah, to your point, like in my mind, when they sold, who's buying? And then I thought about it. And then we can just leave that up to everyone's imagination.
Walked in, they need something to do. So so these are the shoes that I sold. I paid $4.99 for, they were $4.99 at Savers, and I probably had a 20% off coupon. So I probably paid $4. Okay. But where's the camera? This is me holding them.
Oh, those ones.
Do you remember these?
Yeah, I do. Those were crazy.
They look like, there we go. But anyways, I had them listed for $375 on eBay, and I got a $275 offer yesterday. So I took it. So I was super excited. Yeah. So those just sold and they paid right away. I shipped them out this morning. So that was my motivation last night too, when I was talking about getting shipping together the night before. I wanted to make sure that was like really packaged nice and stuff. So yeah, I'm like, it blows. I've had some really big ticket items sell during quarantine. It's just been weird, like crazy, but hey.
That's awesome.
I'm happy.
That is awesome.
Yes, I did. I did. I haven't shared that yet.
Oh, Danielle is like, what?
Yeah. True hope,
We were trying to avoid saying that, but thanks for
it's good. It's a good core workout. I had fun Lori fact. When my sister-in-law got married, we had, like, before we went out like drinking and stuff, they came here and we hired someone. We had like a stripper bar like class. It's really freaking hard. Like, oh my gosh, so hard.
Yeah. Whatever the movie was that came out with J-Lo and some of them, they showed some of the behind the scenes of the training.
Forget it.
Absolutely. Just forget it completely.
I mean, I just bow to the people who can work the pole, especially in the heels.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. It's getting late.
We've really taken a turn this Friday night. So I hope everyone's
oh, goodness. I haven't done a Hope and I were trying to diet together. Yes, that would burn some calories for sure. Keeping it real in quarantine.
I love Restyle Secrets. She put, people are ... bored in quarantine, so they need ... shoes.
We got to keep it PG here, right?
Yeah.
That's too funny. But yeah, I haven't been to the bins in a while. I do miss them. I miss them.
So let me ask you this. What's your plan? Which I'm sure I'm going to do a video at some point, just kind of diving into mine, but like overview without going into great detail. What's your plan when the thrift stores open? Mm-hmm. Because you live with people, because you care about your people, because you have your parents and you want to see them. What's going to be different when you go to thrift stores?
I've become very comfortable wearing my mask everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's still mixed in Massachusetts. Like, I'll go certain places and everyone will be wearing masks. You feel it, like you feel the tension when you walk in, like people don't want you close. Like at the post office, I went the other day and I was just going to drop off, but they had the doors closed and they were only allowing 3 people into the main area. So I had to like wait to just even drop off. So some people are very strict. Gloves and a mask, I would say, when I'm shopping. Wash my hands. And I mean, as it is now, like if I go grocery shopping, I'll sometimes take my shoes off and I leave the gloves and the mask in my car. It doesn't even come in the house because I'm not driving every day. So I figure like the germs can and then I throw the gloves out. Yeah, I think this is what's going to happen. I feel like in Massachusetts, I don't know if it's really going to be contained. There's all this data coming out right now that they think like 13% of the population has it, and we don't even know. Like they're doing like there was a test done in New York City where they just tested like 3,000 people at a grocery store. I probably have my facts mixed up a little bit, but they're looking to do that in Massachusetts as well. I think the hardest part is going to be my parents and Jay's parents, like, because I feel like the people who have compromised immune systems are going to have to continue to stay away, as those of us who are healthy and younger or whatever, we don't have any risk, so to speak, or that we think kind of ease back in. I think that's going to be the hard part, is staying away from our parents.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not super afraid. I feel like if I'm wearing a mask and you're wearing a mask and I'm 6 feet away, I feel okay with that. And I don't know if I'm naive to feel that way.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go back. I don't know about the bins. I think I'll probably start with Savers because they're 12, 15 minutes away from me. And I feel like they're going to have to run a lot of promotions. Like those 50% Savers days, I feel like they're probably going to be once a week. And that's enough for me. I just want to be out there, you know?
Yeah. I was thinking that the dollar days, they're going to have more of them, or the double color days.
Right.
Because they're going to get so many donations. They're going to have to move through product. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how I like you. I'm not super worried because I feel like I go to the post office. I wear my mask, you know, I use gloves at the gas pump. Have you seen the meme that's really funny about, and I don't want to spoil it without saying too much, but why you should wear a mask for dummies?
No.
Okay.
I'll have to look it up.
I'm going to tell you.
Tell us.
Okay. But I might butcher it. So if anyone knows, I feel like someone should post a link to it. Okay. So it was based off some German person, so they translated it. But basically, why you should wear a mask. If you and I are out on the street and we're both naked and you pee on me, all of the pee gets on me. If I am wearing pants and you pee on me, some of the pee gets on me, but some of it does not. If you are wearing pants and I am wearing pants and you pee, the pee stays on you and not on me. And
that totally makes sense.
It does.
I like that. I like that a lot, Courtney. Yes. I mean, I am baffled by the people. Jay went into a restaurant. I don't know who I was saying to it recently, like one of like the local places. And we're there all the time. And my daughter doesn't like it. And she's a vegetarian. And so we haven't been in a long time. And we finally said, we're going. Like, we love it. So we went. And Jay walked in and he's like, he was a holdout on the mask. Like, he didn't feel comfortable. He thought, I'm fine. But he finally started wearing a mask. And he went in and he said, 6 people behind the counter. No one's wearing a mask. Not one of the employees was wearing a mask. And he said, and I was the only one in the restaurant wearing a mask, with the exception of one guy who was flirting with the pretty girl behind the counter. So he took his mask off to talk to her. And it's like, so you have people working really, really, really hard to contain this. And I think because we're not like mandated in Massachusetts still with our numbers, it's staggering. Yeah. It's staggering that people aren't more strict in their, there are states, I believe, I mean, or maybe not, but I feel like there were people there. Like, I know Pennsylvania. So my son goes to school in Pennsylvania. All of his friends are in Pennsylvania. They had like a curfew at night. Like, they couldn't go out past 10 o'clock. Everything was just, they were wearing masks long before us. They were just, it's getting dark now. I can see you're getting
I know.
dark.
See, I'm telling you.
Yes.
We've got a couple more minutes, guys, or it's going to be pitch black.
We're losing you, Courtney. This is a good question about bundles. And I just did a video on bundles.
That was a good video. Yeah.
So I had someone put 10 items in a bundle the other night. They never made an offer. So I went and gave her a good offer and she never responded or anything. Does that happen to you? Absolutely. It does happen. I feel like with bundles, sometimes a lot of it is what I call seed planting. So if that were someone who put something, sometimes people use their bundle feature as like a cart. Like, if we're shopping online, you put things in a cart and you may never have the intention of checking out. But anytime somebody, or even if somebody likes 10 items, I was just saying in my video, the first thing I usually do is check and see if they're new to Poshmark, because I feel like sometimes new people don't understand that a like implies that you may potentially want to buy something. But if I see that they're experienced, then they're wanting the game. You know, they may want an offer or just to see what your best price is. But I would just follow up with that person and just maybe leave a message and just, you know, say, hey, I saw that you like these things. I wouldn't, if somebody put 10 items in a bundle, I wouldn't just send an offer without starting a conversation. I would talk to her and maybe say, I think sometimes it helps to give a percentage. For me, instead of just sending an offer, I say things like, I'm offering 30%, 20%, or whatever the percentage is. And then they can kind of do the translation. So, okay, well, there's 10 items in here. If I'm really serious about buying, if I removed 5, what would 30% off be? If I just send like an arbitrary number, I think sometimes it's hard for my buyer to figure out where I'm at. So oftentimes I'll give a percentage and then they can apply it. Or I'll say on bundles of 3 or more, or 2 or more, or whatever you want, you know. What about you, Courtney?
I have a bundle feature on. I make it as simple as possible. 2 items or more, it's 30% off on automatically.
That's good.
I just don't, I mean, because if someone sent me that offer, I would accept. So why not just make it easy, you know?
Right.
And they don't have to worry about it at all. So it's pretty easy. As far as all the bundling stuff, I go in waves. I'm not good at it. There's a lot of people liking my stuff, but I also wonder who's from YouTube, who's just new to Poshmark. So, you know, I wish there was an easy way of handling it, but at the moment I'm not very good at keeping up with. But your video, it was spot on. I mean, it does make a difference if you put some effort into it, for sure.
I feel like it. I guess it's just kind of my rhythm. I've gotten into the habit of doing that. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I used to be 2 items for 20%. And now I think I'm 3 for 15%, because what I found was even when I had a higher number, like an automatic discount, people would take that number and still want more off. So I pulled back on that feature. Knowing myself, I would happily take 30%, but then it's almost like under promise, over serve, or whatever. So then mentally, maybe people think it's more of a deal. I don't know.
Yeah, which I've had some people send me really low offers, you know, but it's the same mentality that I have normally. It's just for the people who don't want to send offers, it just lets them buy it at a really good price. If they want to send me another 10% off, have at it. You know, I mean, if you're going to buy multiple items, and if they start getting too low, I counter with the original 30%. So yeah, I think it's all just relative to how much you paid for something, what you know of the item, how long has it been sitting. For me, I just want to simplify it as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And but I had that on for like 20%, and then I had it off for probably 9 months. And then I just turned it on probably 3 months ago. And I feel like I've gotten more bundle sales without doing any work, just by having that on.
Yeah, because you have a higher number. Like you don't even really need the communication, because 30% is what you're offering. So yeah,
right,
that's
so
good.
I'm losing the light, and Poppy Little and Company just said, go into the light. I know. Sorry, guys. I didn't think we would have a live this long. So I was like, we'll be fine. It's
Courtney, go into the light. It's like, guys. That's great. All right. Well, anyways, thank you everybody so much. I think we're going to call it a night. It's been so nice chatting with you, Courtney, as always. Thanks for coming on with me. And it's cracking me up how dark it's getting. And I was thinking when we started, because I feel like I have this big light here, I feel like overexposed, and you were like natural beauty, and like the sun was like glimmering off your eyes, and I was like, look at her, like everything. Now we're losing you. But anyway, thank you everyone so much for coming. I am going to link Courtney's information in my description. I need to go over to YouTube and like finagle a couple things there, but definitely go give Courtney a follow, and you can go see her. So follow her on City Girl Unplugged, and then you can see the injury that we are discussing and all the drama that ensued. It was really something. Thank you, Lisette. All right, everyone, have a wonderful night. I really appreciate you being here.
Thanks, Lori.
Good night. Bye, everyone.